Hello and welcome everyone. This is me, Izuzik, and today I'm gonna be talking about these BoBoiBoy comic magazines. I'm only specifically talking about like what? Four of these. Four. BoBoiBoy comic magazine issue 43, issue 44, issue 45, and issue 48. Why these four specifically? Well, by the time I'm recording this video, BoBoiBoy Galaxy episode it's not 25th November yet. By the time I'm recording this, and we've got the cover and it's confirmed that we are getting a comic book version of BoBoiBoy Galaxy, and the first book covers the first 4 episodes. Yes, 4 episodes. That's pretty good stuff. And of course, it's also like it's not merely it's not like one before I get on to like the rest of the, talking about the BoBoiBoy Galaxy comic. In a standard comic magazine, BoBoiBoy comic magazine, this is how a single here's how an adaptation of the show looks like. It pretty much like the screenshots put into panels, and then we have dialogue boxes with this based on the scripts and stuff. And of course, it has different kinds of content, behind the scenes stuff. And some of the behind the scenes stuff depends on when this book is published, when it is published. And this is back when if I was not mistaken, the movie was still if I was not mistaken, I'm not exactly sure. BoBoiBot is the most recent thing, if I was not mistaken. Oh yeah, BoBoiBoy is we were still in the middle of the BoBoiBot story arc by the time this book is published. It's not even episode 20. If I was not mistaken, it's not episode 20 yet. Yeah, it's not episode 20 yet. Anyways, like I said, a comic book adaptation of a single episode would look like this in the comic magazine, in Majalah Comic BoBoiBoy. Why do I say that? Well, in the BoBoiBoy Galaxy comic, expect something like this instead. Yes, these are short comics that are also contained in these comic magazines. Not all issues of comic magazines have short comics in it, and some of the short comics have different artists working on it, but mostly similar writers, whatever. And of course, for these 4 issues, issue 43, issue 44, issue 45, and issue 48, the artist who's specifically working on it is the artist working on it would be Pokcik Fingernailz. Yes, Pokcik Fingernailz is not his real name, but Fingernailz is not the real name. It's just a pen name used online. You can check it out on Facebook. I probably would put the link somewhere, maybe. And I'll probably put the link somewhere in the description, maybe. It's basically about he's an online artist as well. He has his, and I'm pretty sure he also published his own original stories and such, like actual books. I know. I've seen his work on a bookstore once. Issue 43, the story that's covered here, BoBoiBoy Fire versus BoBoiBoy Water. Issue 44 and 45, Fang versus Gopal Parts 1 and 2. And of course, this short comic is titled best animal or awesome animal, whatever. Wait, I'm gonna check out some stuff before we move on to the next part of the video. Yeah, but But one thing I've note is that no, in these books, not all the comics are the comics are not completely made drawn by Fingernailz. There's also another artist working on this one. At least these three. This one if I was not mistaken. Wait, I already checked. It's completely Fingernailz. This one Fingernailz and also someone else who goes by the name of who goes by the online name of Toad Frog. Wait, I'm gonna check it one more time, just for confirmation. Yeah, Toad Frog. Toad Frog is working on this one. Pokcik, whatever. Now, okay. So first of all, I'm just gonna go a little short review of each of the comics. Gonna do a short review of each of the comics. I would probably edit them, whatever, and put them on screen. Or maybe I should just go showing this to them, whatever. And of course, here's the first page where we get BoBoiBoy Earth like seeing sensing something wrong, and all of a sudden BoBoiBoy Fire and BoBoiBoy Water starts arguing. Like, yeah. And then of course they start shooting stuff at each other with their own signature attacks. Really cool stuff. Here. See? Siapa cakap aku nak lari? Here! Tembakan I! And then of course it attracts the attention of others. And then BoBoiBoy Earth decides he needs to stop this. Aku kena hentikan semua ni. Tanah tangan. Tu bukan berapi. Tamparan ombak. Sudah. And then of course we get this one. This real cool shot. And then an explosion. Of course this causes an explosion, and BoBoiBoy Earth is the only one who really like ends up falling not so luckily. See, and then like here's the thing that if there's like a certain plot hole I would like to point out. Why did BoBoiBoy decide to use this kind of split? He could easily use the other split, and those three at least know well together. Either that or BoBoiBoy is just trying out this one. Because when you try to fit this, because the good thing about these books is that they fit so easily into the show's canon. Why do I say so? Yes, well, some of the short comics, they don't really fit well into the canon. When certain things happen. The only short comic that is 100% fully has been considered canon fully is the one where Probe and Adudu met for the first time, and I don't need to review that one. You can. It is adapted into that flashback in episode 10 of season 2 BoBoiBoy. Now let's talk about the rest of this comic book. Where? Okay, wait. I'm gonna take a look at this. There we go. It's not me, it's them. The Abba wanted me to take care of the shop, but I ran out of sugar, so I split up and I have them take care of the shop. And then when I came back, they've already started fighting. Yeah, so I probably want to update these things. First, let's take a look at some of the other stuff. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff they decided to put in here.
Weh, Api, hentikan semua ni. Kuasa orang dia tak terkawal.
Ini kau kata tak terkawal? Kau belum tengok lagi kuasa penuh aku. Oh, cakap besar ye. Cepatlah tunjuk apa yang kau ada.
Sudahlah tu, kenapa korang gaduh ni?
Dia ni kurang ajarkan aku. Kau yang mula dulu. Macam orang gila je cakap dengan diri sendiri.
Memanglah tak
Memang tak betul lah BoBoiBoy ni. Weh, tu aku juga tu. Baik kau minta maaf cepat. Aku pula, kau tu lah yang patut minta maaf dulu. Pembelot. Aku ke basuh mulut kau tu. Ombak lucu. And of course, I decided to just simply read this thing because it's kind of cool. You get to hear stuff. Hearing some dialogue seems nice. And puberty dub as well. Cubalah bobola api maksima. Bobola paus air.
Elak semua! Tak sempat!
Besarnya! Tolong aku, Fang! Tanah pelindung! Kelumpung bayang combo! Whatever. I didn't read that properly. And then, of course, I'm not gonna dub everything, but basically they form a barrier, which probably isn't like kind of enough for the whole gang. And then of course, like Gopa and Fangs kind of start like betting on who's gonna win. Fang says fire's gonna win. Gopal says water. I'm sure fire has this. Wait, water surely beats fire. Hey, even earth power's great too, you know. And then of course, these two guys just take a look at Fang's face here. This, and then we get to this. Cool. Yeah, nice transition. And then the next page, we get this. Where of course, both of them are doing completely okay. And then Yaya and Ying got so pissed. They managed to deal with the two of them on their own. Like seriously, this is probably why they were sidelined. They were just this powerful on their own. So and then we found out the reason they were fighting all this while. I was just having nice drink of special iced chocolate. But then what? But then he decided to heat my drink. And then he said that, the two start arguing about their drinks, of course. Water wants it cold, fire wants it hot, and then they start arguing again, and the other four kids are not amused. And then we get the space. Yeah. Where basically what happens is that fire and water force themselves into Earth and then fuse back. They all fuse back, and then of course everyone decided to chase down BoBoiBoy for all the damage that has been done, just because two of the forms decided to argue over a single drink. How about? And then of course, let's talk about. Oh no, this is part 2. Wrong book. Sorry. And then let's talk about this. Fang versus Gopal. Demi donut tersayang, or for the great donut. Basically, the story is that Fang and Gopal are fighting over the last piece of donut. So there you can see the guys who are Pokcik, Fingernailz, and Toad Frog. Anyways, the two are basically most of the time basically fighting over. They're basically fighting over the last piece of red carrot donut here, and as a well-informed BoBoiBoy fan, you should know that Fang really likes these things. I mean, Captain Kaizo likes red carrot soup. Seriously, what's with his species and red carrots? Of course, they start fighting more, and of course they gone fighting more, showing cool stuff. See, this looks really cool. there's not much of a big story kind of thing. It's pretty much them fighting over that one piece of donut, and then they go to all different sorts of places. And then Gopal, and then part one ends with Gopal turning this very table into steel, and it crushed the Shadow Tiger. Wow, that thing has bad luck. And of course, let's go to the conclusion in part 2. And of course, we have this cool shot. Jaga kau Gopal, halang bayang! See? How dare you, Gopal? How dare you, Gopal? Shadow Eagle! See, I like doing these kind of things. Hey, for one more thing, if you guys want me to kind of dub some of these short comics, if you guys want me to dub these short comics, you should go probably, just put in the comments, say, yeah, you want me to. Anyways, the battle continues, basically. They just continue fighting, and of course it seems that Fang has gotten the upper hand, but turns out Gopal's winning. Yes, Gopal's winning. That's a twist no one would ever expect. I mean, especially at this point, none of them has gotten their upgrades at this point, which means this would actually fit very well into the main show's canon. This would also take place in between BoBoiBoy Season 3 and BoBoiBoy the movie. Harimau bayang, tukaran ikan kering. Wow. Tak boleh pakai. And of course, their donut is ruined. Of course, I like to say that their donut is ruined forever. What a shame. Their donut is ruined forever. That's how it ended. Of course, Gopal is trying to punish Fang. But then their battle has caused great damage to the canteen. Of course, hey, be grateful it wasn't BoBoiBoy Fire and Water that takes. Luckily, BoBoiBoy Fire versus BoBoiBoy Water didn't take place because that meant BoBoiBoy alone would have to go do all this. And of course, Fang and Gopal ends up getting punished for their own. Recklessness that ends up destroying the place. And of course, let's talk about the last comic that I would want to cover today, which is I Want to Buy It, or Best Animal. Now, this is interesting. Take a look at their watches. It's been designed differently from what the main show what they look like in the main show, like before Galaxy. And they also except for Gopal and Ying, and they kind of look like some of them might look like a bit like especially BoBoi's. No, not really. They have been redesigned actually, but you know why? Because at one point I actually asked Pokcik Fingernailz at one point on Facebook. He says that this was before the reveal of the official BoBoiBoy Galaxy character models. This was long before we get to see the models for the first time. And then and then I asked him about why the watches look different and all that. And then he said that for BoBoiBoy Galaxy they were kind of planning redesigns for the watches and such. And but these designs are not the final redesigns. Interesting thing. This one is actually kind of also very interesting the way they do this kind of thing. It's placed in the canon, how they try to place it in the canon. Of course, this is basically about them actually going on a camping trip, which would probably and since their watches are actually kind of redesigned for this one, you could say it takes place after BoBoiBoy the movie. And of course, basically they're going on a camping trip with Papa Zola here, with Mr. Papa. And then Gopa here is having is bit if I was not mistaken, he's allergic to fur. And he's allergic to, like, some to furry things like rabbits or cats or whatever. And then of course they set up campfire, and a bunch of animals are watching them. And then of course they go to sleep. A bear is is chased, and then during the night a bear is chasing a porcupine. It's either a porcupine or a hedgehog, whatever. Yeah, I get to say hedgehog, whatever. And then of course a bird flies over, notices the watch, and then these animals are gonna be terrorized by the bear. Turns out the bird is using the earth power. Yes, animals can use these things apparently. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, they're probably coded to have other species use it as well. It's not like they're specifically programmed for humans. I mean, the original creators of these power sparrows, yes, I said power sparrows, are in fact Kubulus aliens, which are do this race. And of course the other animals decided to use the powers as well. The squirrel is using Yaya's power, and the porcupine or hedgehog, whatever, is using the shadow powers. The turtle uses Ying's power of time manipulation, and finally we got a rabbit. Yes, rabbit. Remember Gopal's allergic thing? Yeah, the rabbit is using using Gopal's powers to calm the bear down and convince him to leave them alone. And of course, everyone wakes up, and Gopal ends up having a bad case of allergies. And take a look at this shot here. It's nice looking. And of course, this would conclude the end of the video. If there's one thing I would like to, one more thing that I would like to show you. BoBoiBoy Sferaquaso. Yes, I know. Even though the movie itself uses like practically screenshots of the movie and then put them to panels and such, we have this, a prologue comic to a prologue explaining the origins of the power spheres and everything. It's practically a more detailed version of that explanation we get from the first episode of BoBoiBoy Galaxy. Basically, the Kubulus aliens all live together in harmony and peace, and everything changed when an invading alien force attack. And yes, I actually narrated that based on Avatar The Last Airbender or whatever. And everything changed when an invading alien force arrived to attack. And of course, it caused so much death and destruction. And meanwhile, on this floating island, a bunch of scientists are figuring out what kind of weapon to make to help fend off their enemies. And thus, Klomkabot is created. And and Clonkabot easily decimates all of their enemies, like so easily, and he's considered their savior. And of course, more powers. And of course, the Cubeless aliens are so amazed by their own achievements, they end up creating more. And strangely enough, not all of them actually looks like spears. Like they have different kinds of shape and sizes, and they live different generations altogether. I mean, there's even one that's made for babysitting, and then there's a bunch of stuff. They live together for generations. But then, so before we get to the next part, let's just get a reminder that in the past, all of the Cubeless aliens, all of Adudu's race, they were all good guys. Everyone, everything. And then they created power spheres to defend them. But however, as generations go by, the Cubeless aliens themselves becomes power hungry. They hunger for power, and they reprogrammed the power spheres and attacked all of other planets. Clonkabot disagrees with this and tries to fight back. And of course, so more destruction and war happens. And after seeing this much, Clonkabot doesn't really like it that much, and uses his teleportation power to send all of the power spheres away, from all the different aliens. And of course, from the narration in episode 1 of BoBoiBoy Galaxy, it states that of course all the different alien races are hunting for these power spheres for a long time, trying to hunt them down. And of course, as we know from BoBoiBoy the movie, the Tokuta gang has captured a lot of these. It's actually captured a lot of these things. Now if I'm not mistaken, there was supposed to be concept art of these things. Let me take a look. Oh no, the concept art for that is not in this book. It's actually somewhere else. That is not in here. It's in the concept art for that one would be in a different thing altogether. It's not in this book. And yes, the reason I show you this prologue comic is because the artist is once again Pokcik Fingernailz. Again, nice stuff. And of course, he's coming back once again going to work. He's once again working on BoBoiBoy Galaxy comics and such. And also one more thing to note is that he actually made a digitally drawn comic version of the BoBoiBoy and Fang fight in episode 24 of season 3. Yes, he made his own version. And these things, you can if you want the full details, you can check them out. If you want me to make an English fandom or whatever for these comics, you can suggest them by commenting in the comment section below, and I'll also link the Facebook page of the artist in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time on the next video whenever I upload them, and goodbye.